I'm getting ready to speak with Lisa Dawson, who lives in York, England. She's funny and fabulous, loves thrifting and vintage finds, and she's going to give us a mini tour of her beautiful Georgian home. So have fun watching.
Hi!
Hi, Lisa.
Sit on the floor so I can see. Hello, how are you?
Hello. How are you in York, England? You're my first international Instagram live, so I'm very excited. It's a big day here.
You?
But I guess it's almost about dinner time for you.
Yeah, it is. It's 6 o'clock. Yeah.
So how has Monday been? How has quarantine been? How are you doing?
Oh, it's fine. It's actually not been too bad. I've got 3 children, so the 2 oldest ones were supposed to be taking exams, but the exams have been cancelled. And I have a 10-year-old, so I'm having to try the homeschooling, but I'm really, truly rubbish at it. It's proper hard work.
Well, I'm sure. And then not only are you doing that, but moms and dads are working at the same time. So I can't even imagine what the juggling act is.
It's hard work for everyone, I think, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm excited to see a little bit of your house. But before that, you wrote a really poignant blog post the other day, which was titled 20 Reasons to Be Cheerful. What was the inspiration and what was the reaction that you received?
What do you know? I actually, it was just one of those things. I was thinking there was so many, I get so much feedback about things that people are being able to do now that we're in quarantine that they couldn't do before, like spending time with their family or doing stuff around the house. So I asked my audience, who are really engaged, they're always so chatty, and I said, tell me what you've got from this, which isn't a negative, because it's so easy to look at it and think it's so negative all the time. And they just hundreds and hundreds of them responded with positive things that they've taken from, you know, from being stuck in, from lockdown.
Sure.
So I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to pull those things together. So I kind of consolidated them into 20 points. And actually, it was quite emotional doing it. But actually, people
I
are.
think you're buffering for a sec.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep. Now I can hear you.
So yeah, so it was, I just consolidated my audience views into 20 points. But yeah, it was really lovely to read, actually. So many people have taken so much from such a difficult situation.
I agree. And one of the things you listed was home improvements. Have you taken on any home improvements since you've been stuck in the house?
Well, the first thing I did was I painted my kitchen cupboards, which was day job. I'm slightly obsessed with painting kitchen cupboards. And I have just been planning, actually, so far. I'm doing a lot of writing at the moment. So I write for publications. So I have had quite a lot of work to do. But I have some plans in place for some bookshelf building this week and some work outdoors. Most of my time has been concentrated on doing stuff outdoors, actually, in my garden, because the weather's been really nice, which is very unusual for England.
Getting ready for, well, I guess getting ready for summer.
Yeah, exactly. So I've done loads of work in the garden, and I'm hoping to do some work indoors. Yeah, this week.
So the house that you're in, so you're in York, England. This is a Georgian house, and you said that it is your dream house. When did you move in, and how much renovation did you have to do?
So I'm from just outside London, and York is in the north.
Yep.
So my husband was offered a job here, and we didn't think we would stay that long. So we moved up, we rented our house in the south. We sort of rented up here for a while, and then we realized we really loved it. It was a very much slower pace of living, lots of lovely countryside. It was very nice. So we traded our house in and we bought our house here. And there was a big price divide between being in London, near close to London, and then being up in the north. So we were able to really sort of buy our dream home. So we bought this one. So we saw it and we just immediately fell in love with it. It had actually been already renovated by a property developer. So had, you know, all everything done already. So a lot of the period detailing had been restored. There was a new kitchen, some bathrooms and stuff. So I just sort of came into a blank canvas and I just started doing my rooms up, and I've loved it. And I could just do it all the time, which I do actually most.
Are you always kind of fixing something here and there?
I've always got a project on the go, always.
So you're going to show us a bit of the living room and the family room, is that right?
Yes. So I'll show you the room that I'm in at the moment, which is actually
Great.
that I have most recently decorated. So I'll just say, so in this room, I've always wanted Ligne Rose Togo sofas, which I have been obsessed with forever. And I waited and waited and waited. And then this year I was like, right, I'm having them. So I bought them. And that is the main, then I decorated the whole room around these sofas because I love them so much.
And how did you pick the color? Because it's this really pretty, like dusty rose pink.
Well, I really like pink. I'm a big fan of pink. I have a pink front door and lots of pink accents in my house. I really like pastel colors. So I thought it was kind of a timeless blush. And the fact it was in cord as well, I was like for me, that's the perfect sort of tactile feel combined with my favorite color. So
would you say that this was, do you have certain items you splurge on and then other places in which you save?
Yes, absolutely. So I was saying that I did up my kitchen. I sort of painted my kitchen cupboards. So I redid my kitchen entirely, keeping the base units. So I'm a big believer in whatever you do it resourcefully. So I'll always work with what I've got and I will invest in the core pieces. So like my sofas will be here forever. I will never get rid of them. They're an investment. But then there's other things. I'm a huge vintage shopper. So a lot of the stuff in my house is vintage, and I mix and match it, move it around the house. So yeah.
So if you go with something like a pink couch, do you then have to, like, just from your perspective, do you think, all right, now I decorate with X, Y, and Z colors, or I need to stay away from something else? Or how do you sort of decorate around such a vibrant color like pink?
So what I've done in my house, I like color, but I'm not a maximalist, if that makes sense. So I don't, yeah, so I have all the bones of my home, I keep very neutral. So most of the walls in my house are white, or an off shade of white. And then the floors are nearly all wooden. And then I add color to that. So as a result, I'm able to move everything around my house because nothing, you know, my base palette is always very neutral. So I can move the sofa into any room I want and it will still look fine. You know, it doesn't have to match wall color or with a wallpaper like that.
So, Lisa, are you actually allowed to able to flip your camera around so we can see a bit more?
Oh, I'll stand up. Sorry, my dog is here as well. Oh God.
Oh, I love your dog, Buddy.
Oh, here he is. Yeah, there he is.
Buddy, he's living the life.
Very long walk. So I'll show you from as you walk in here. So this is my sitting room. So this is the sofa that I was talking about, which I'm completely obsessed with. So I kind of did this whole room. Over here is a recent addition. It's a log burner. So when we moved in, there was, although the house was built in 1760, there was a big, there was like a big, you know, fake faux fireplace there, which was sort of faux Art Deco. So we wanted to take it out. So I have my builder in January. We took it out and there were actually 3 fireplaces behind it.
Oh
so
my God.
I know, it was mad. So the whole thing was ripped out and then we managed to come back to pick out. So we took it right back to this, which is the original detailing. So this is how it would have looked when the house was first built.
I love that you sort of restored it to its original bones.
Yeah, well, you know, just take it back to the original. I just love it. So, yeah, there was 3 fireplaces, can you believe? And I think that often people are too scared to just try. And I have to admit it was incredibly dusty and there was a lot of dirt, but it was worth it because it's opened up the whole space. It's so much bigger.
And it's wood burning.
Yeah, it's wood burning, which is just an absolute dream.
That's so cozy in the winter.
With it. So you can see in here, so all the original detailing is still here in the room.
Was that there when you moved in, or did you have to seal it back?
The previous owner had totally renovated it all and brought it back to its original beauty. So it's all original up there. And then this window here.
Look at your gorgeous countryside, the English countryside.
That is actually, it's deceptive. That's actually quite a busy road.
Well, it doesn't look like one, so let's just pretend it's not.
We'll just pretend it's not. But when we moved in, I didn't actually realize these shutters were working. So originally there was a big roller blind in front of it. And then I was decorating the room and took the roller blind off, and then all the original shutters are still here.
Oh, how charming.
Oh, I've never been so excited in my whole life as when I found those shutters.
Are they full the entire height of the window?
It's difficult to show because the sofa's in front, but they pull right across, and they've got the original bar that goes down the middle.
Oh, wow. There's so many little secrets that you've got to uncover as you've done your renovating.
It was so exciting. That's the thing I love about living in a period home, is there's so much history attached to it.
All right, so you've got your fabulous pink couch, and then you have many gallery walls. So you have this one.
Yeah, I do like art.
Well, and what's so great is that I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you just collect what you like, and then you somehow make it work beautifully and cohesively on a wall with your trained eye, and you figure out how to hang everything appropriately.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan of art, and I love, I was talking to someone on a live this morning actually about making the gallery wall that, you know, saying, how can you put so many pictures on the wall? I said, well, I use that wall as my focal point for the room, so I don't add loads of extra stuff, you know. Yep. If the wall is what I look at and the wall is the focal point. Yeah, so I actually kind of vaguely themed this one in here because I knew I had the pink couch, so I have pinks and oranges and reds going and blacks. But yeah, this was the most recent room.
And then you've done, it looks like, all black and white frames.
Yeah, all black and white frames in here. So there's no wood. These are just all black and white.
Okay.
And then right here, a lot of them are local artists or like independent artists, and some I've got from galleries and some are gifts. And, you know, I quite like the varied.
Yeah.
The
eclectic.
Vintage. I have a lot of vintage furniture in my house. So everything else in here apart from the sofas is all vintage. So this was I actually sourced this on eBay, this table, and my parents had the very same table when we were young, and I looked for it forever to try and find the same one, and eventually I found it. So that's a recent vintage purchase as well.
That's beautiful. And then wait, do you have a matching pink chair, or is that couch? Oh, wow.
The chair too, and then the seat that goes with it. Yeah.
It looks like the most comfortable couch I've ever seen.
Oh, I tell you, honestly, Togos are they are so comfortable. The only issue is that when you get in them, it's quite difficult to get up again.
Well, it does look like there's like sort of concave seating areas.
Yeah, they're super comfy. Yeah, they're good. So do you want me to take you through to the next room?
I would love that.
Okay, so we'll come through here. So this is my hallway. So I have...
I like your York framed...
Yeah, so this was Harland Miller, who's an amazing artist who is actually from the north. He's from York. He did an exhibition recently in York Art Gallery, and this is one of the posters from the exhibition. So I was so happy to get one because they sold out immediately.
Beautiful.
So this is the hallway, and then this is a very large gallery wall. A big one.
I love it.
Yeah, I did that. That was my biggest one that I've ever done.
Do you have a favorite piece?
Where are we? Yeah, I really like, so this is, I was brought up in Hong Kong. So this is one that was inherited from my parents. That one there, I really like. And I like this one here, which was a gift, which is from the Yves Saint Laurent Museum in Morocco. There's just something.
I love the pop of the gold mirror too. Frame, I mean.
Oh yeah, so here I've mixed up all the frames, and you can see they're really like those two little ones, the ones I picked up in a secondhand shop in the thrift shop, those ones there, and then that's a gift, and that's IKEA. You know, there's like a whole range of, these are ones I bought my husband, these are Stella Vine, who's an artist, and they were gifts for him, so they're original prints. So like it's a whole mix of absolutely random stuff.
But that's the great thing about mixing treasures from a thrift shop with something from IKEA, because then you can never really tell that the thing from IKEA is from IKEA.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the juxtaposing of all the different things. That's what makes it work, I think.
I agree.
So this is the hallway. So most of my floors are just all wood. I'm a huge fan of don't look at the dust on my floor, by the way.
You can't see any dust.
And I'm a big fan of vintage rugs. So I have most of my house is full of vintage rugs. And then this is the dining room, which I'm only going to show you half of because half of it is being used for homeschooling. But this was the
I
cupboard that
love
we
this piece.
spoke about. Let me just move the buffet out of the way. So yeah, I found this in, see how far I can go back. Yeah, so I found that in a thrift shop, and it was being used as a display cabinet, and it's an old filing cabinet that would have been used in an office, and they couldn't even believe that I wanted to buy it. And I said, how much is it? And they said, oh, £80. So that's what, I don't know, what is that in dollars? $100?
About $100.
Yeah, about $100. And I put, it's so funny, I put it on my Instagram, and people looked at it on my stories, and they were like, not quite sure about your decision making on this one. And then I cleaned it up and I put all my stuff in it, and they were like, oh my God, yeah, okay, it's nice.
But that's what's so amazing, because you saw life in it that other people maybe didn't see, which is probably why you also got it for £80.
Exactly. So I keep I just fill it with vintage crockery, and I collect loads of vintage glassware.
And then you mix and match them?
Yeah, just mix and match all the time. And I only put candles in here and cookbooks, and
I love colored candlesticks.
oh, so do I. I'm obsessed with all candles. Hold on, let me just shut that one. Yeah, and then I collect like Moroccan bowls and things like this, and this is all vintage china.
So do you like having dinner parties, Lisa? Because I feel like with all of your beautiful china and cutlery and serving dishes that you would have the most beautiful dinner parties.
Oh yeah, so I am obsessed with setting the table. I like to set the table about 2 days in advance, you know. But I love the whole, we were just talking there about the mixing and matching. So mixing sort of the vintage glassware. I collect vintage glassware, I have so much of it. But using them at the table as wine and water glasses, you know, the modern crockery. I love doing that. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Somebody asked where you get your candlesticks. Do you buy them at a store or online?
My candlesticks or my candles?
The tapered ones, I think the beautiful colored ones.
Oh, yeah, I know. I get them in the store, but also I get them online too. Some of those are Firm Living, who are an amazing brand. I don't know if you have them, Firm Living. And some of them are from Tiger, and they're really cheap, like £2 for 3 or something. But I just love all the colors and all the different contrasts.
So you love retro, you love vintage, you love scouring thrift shops. But if you buy something new, what is it like? You bought your couch new. Are there other things that you gravitate towards for new versus vintage?
Yeah, I mean, I have sofas pretty much. I mean, all the sofas in my house are newer, although I have bought vintage sofas in the past. Also artwork. I have more modern art, so I like the way it looks with I'll switch around and show you. I like the way it looks with vintage. So here, for example, I've got like a screen, and then I'll put it against.
That's a beautiful screen.
Yeah, do you know, again, that I bought on Gumtree, which is the same as your Craigslist, I think. Yeah. And it was, someone had totally covered it in fabric, and it was like £40. So I just got it home and ripped up all the fabric. I was like,
and it's like wicker?
Yeah, it's wicker. It's really, yeah.
I think wicker is having a huge resurgence right now. I am seeing it everywhere.
I absolutely love it. I love it. And I love it against other woods and different textures and contrasts. So here I've got, so I'm just trying to give the art example. I'm just going to move them on the stair out of the way. So yeah, so I've got like modern prints against the vintage, and that's what, so a lot of my furniture is vintage, but then a lot of my art is modern.
And does that also go, Lisa, for the beautiful piece that I saw over the fireplace? It's like a print. It almost looks like Los Angeles.
It's Las Vegas, I think.
Oh, it's so cool.
It is. Yes, no, that is actually a modern photograph. Well, is it modern? Yeah, it's a modern photograph. Yeah, so that's from a company called King & McGaw, who are like a print company in the UK. But I love that picture, and I love the colors in that picture as well.
I do too. It almost looks like it was taken in black and white, like a long time ago, sort of like a vintage print, and then transferred into color.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the photographer, but I really like that. But yeah.
So do you just do what comes naturally to you? I mean, you obviously have such a beautiful eye for decorating, or are there any sort of rules that you follow about things not to do or things to do, or is it all just what you feel?
It's really, I have to say, it's all what I feel. And I previously have run workshops on styling your home, and the key thing that I always said was go with exactly what you love, and if you love it, it should be in your house.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, ignore trends, you know, it doesn't matter what other people think. If you love it, then it should be in your home. And always to assess everything that you put into your home with that rule. And if you do that, then it will always work. It will always work. If you love it, then it will work. So I always use that rule
I love that.
in my house.
And this is the last room, right, that we're in?
So this is the big room. I'll start down this end and show you. So this is actually a very difficult room. So we have a bar here.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. So yeah,
I would be there every night of quarantine if I were you.
I tell you what, we are pretty much. So I just used IKEA shelves up there. You know, like those IKEA picture ledges.
Exactly.
And then I had them just with extra screws, and yeah, so it holds all.
Kind of like a subway tile.
Yeah, so I just did a subway tile, and then I used a green one. I took inspiration from, I can't remember, maybe Amber Interiors. Is that correct? She's an American designer, I think. Yeah, I saw that contract combo and I loved it. So that corner is a bar, and then over here I have. This was a very difficult room to decorate. It was originally used as a pool room, so like a guest room. So it's kind of very long and very thin. So I did a wall that goes the whole length across like this. And then there's the seating area.
And that's like a very cool shag rug.
Yeah, so that's flocati, which is like a wool.
How do you keep that clean? I'm in awe.
I have to say with difficulty. So yeah, especially with dogs and cats. It's very difficult. We take it outside about every 2 months and give it a massive shake, and then I vacuum it whenever I vacuum.
Oh, what a good idea to take it outside.
Yeah, I mean, they're very light, actually. They're very light. They're light rugs. But it's been saved. I've had it maybe a year and a half, and so far it's been saved from any major damage. So it's
I'm
okay.
a sucker for a gallery wall just like you, and I feel like I get very overwhelmed with a big wall, and my go-to is just to cover the entire thing rather than figure out how to place a few things with purpose.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, and it was very difficult with this whole big, you can see, I mean, it's just such a long stretch that and of course on the other side of the wall, nothing apart from a television on the wall and a mirror. So this is the whole focal point of the room, is this wall. But I think it's very difficult sometimes when you're given a big expansive wall like that to decide what to do with it.
And then you have beautiful wall ceiling fixtures, light fixtures.
Oh yeah, so there's that one here, which that's from Heels. That's a design which I cannot remember the name of, but yeah, I quite like that one. My sister gave me that one. And this one here is just called, so again, it's wicker.
Somebody's asking where you got your rug from, if you're able to share.
The flocati.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was eBay.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you just search flocati, Flokati, flocati, and there's absolutely loads of them. They're it's a Greek, I think they're Greek flocati rugs. I'm not sure. And then this one here is a cow, which I shipped from America.
Oh, that's so funny. I love that. I actually brought one of those back from South America and just shoved it in my suitcase, and I said, I'm going to make this with it.
Oh, do you know, I love them, and they're not everyone's cup of tea, and I do understand that, but you can spill anything on them and nothing ever stays.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Red wine, anything, nothing. Yeah, I just noticed someone said about this. So they've said that they like this light fitting. Let me just turn this shelf fitting. So this is actually, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to turn the light off so it's more obvious. This here is actually an IKEA unit like a £60 IKEA unit, and I just spray painted it gold.
Oh, what a great trick.
Yeah, literally. And honestly, the comments I get on it, and I'm always like, it's just IKEA. It's just IKEA. But spray painted.
What was its original color?
Black. Yeah.
It's amazing what just like a very simple fix, how it can change a room.
Oh, totally. And I love that. And I've had, you know, I've had cupboards come and go in my house, but this has remained, even though it was just a £60 unit from IKEA. I still really like it. It's mad. Yeah.
Do you have an all-time favorite piece in this room?
Oh yes, this one here. I think it was, the spray paint was, someone's asking what brand it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, Rust-Oleum. I think it was Rust-Oleum. It's this piece here. So can you see it's a
sort of a mid-century modern piece?
Yeah. So I bought that in a charity sale, and no one else wanted it, and I threw myself on it. It was £10, which is like, I know, it's madness, and it actually still had the label in the drawer from when it was made. It's a Gentique sideboard.
You are a lucky lady, Lisa.
I know, I was so happy. And I've had it for like, I must have had it for 10 years, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite piece in my whole house.
Do you know what I love too about finding a treasure from a vintage shop or an antique shop? It's not only the piece, but it's also the story that comes along with it.
Oh yeah, I completely and utterly agree. And that's one of my, that's why I love buying vintage furniture. And I love the fact, and also furniture that was made at the time of that, all those years ago, it's made really solid, and it's made to last. You know, that's 70 years old or whatever, and it's still here and still going. And
right.
That's what I really love about it.
So I'm going to let you go in just a minute, because I'm sure you have a cocktail to get to and dinner to get to. But what have you learned or appreciated in quarantine that you will take with you after this is all over?
Oh, definitely having time to myself. Sure. Because I think I have, I mean, I work full time in social media, and I'm always really, really busy, and my children do loads of activities. I'm always dropping them and doing stuff. I've always got something to do. So actually having this time, it's just been amazing. Like just before I was talking to you, I had half an hour. So I was sitting down, I'm reading Educated, Tara Westover. Have you read it?
I read half of it. It's brilliant.
Oh my God, it's so good. So good. But I would never have had the time to read a book unless I was on holiday, you know, before.
Sure.
So
I think it's a reprioritizing of life and what's important to us.
No, I love it. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, Lisa, your house is beautiful. Thank you so much for this mini tour and for showing us all of your vintage and thrifting treasures. It's been really fun.
Lovely to talk to you. Thank you for asking me.
Of course, Lisa. And bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Lisa.